Yes.
Which is the German National Railway.
Correct, yeah. The German National Railway, the Deutsche Bahn, is our mother company. And there has been a long tradition already together with the German Railway. Already in 1931, Schenker was at that time acquired by the Deutsche Reichsbahn. So since 1931, Schenker belongs actually to the German Railway. And there was only a 10-year in between from 1991 to 2001, where Schenker was not with the German Railway, but with another German conglomerate which was called Stinnes, because that was a political decision at that time that the German Railway had to privatize some of the affiliated companies. But then in 2001, when the German Railway got privatized, it was very important for them to get Schenker back because they wanted to have the global reach.
Of course. I mean, there really synergy with the Deutsche Bahn, with rolling stock, and then with your other resources in trucks and airplanes and ships and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, let's talk about your local activities. Tell us about the operations in the Philippines.
The operation in the Philippines, as you saw in the movie, this was actually our inauguration of our new office, which we had last year in October, which is now almost 1 year. And Schenker Philippines as a company is established in January 2007 out of these 3 companies which we saw in the video. And since then, we have grown the business here. Now today, we have 8 offices nationwide. We are, of course, in several places in Metro Manila and around Metro Manila. Then we have an office in Cebu. We are in Clark. We are in Subic. And we are in Mindanao, in Davao, and in Cagayan de Oro.
Providing valuable logistics services to many, many companies.
Correct, yes. We have a very, very wide footprint of customers from different segments, from different vertical markets. And we have here in the Philippines about 800 people now. When we consolidated the 3 companies in 2007, we started with around 500. And within the last 4 years, we have grown the employment from 500 to 800.
Which is a good sign. It means that businesses, I mean, if the business of logistics is picking up, it means production, manufacturing, commerce is also on the upswing.
Yeah. Well, I must say, it's not so much the market growing, but we are growing because we offer a very competitive supply chain solution, a very competitive service. So we were able, during the last 4 years, to grow above market growth.
Who are your customers here in the Philippines? And for the benefit of our viewers, what exactly do you do for them?
Well, we have a lot of customers from the SAPI segment, from the semicon and electronic industry. And there is a wide variety what we do for our customers. One is, of course, we help them, assist them to bring the raw materials in from everywhere in the world. So it is their supply of raw material. Then we do the customs clearance for them. Wherever necessary, we do the warehousing for them. We also then deliver the goods, their raw material, to their manufacturing. And then when they have produced their goods, we pick them up again and distribute them again worldwide. So the complete supply chain is done by us.
And, all this that you just mentioned really entails a lot of organization, attention to detail, attention to schedules, all this that the Germans are very well known for. The attention to detail and doing things precisely. Now, given this nature of Germans, really, and you guys are famous for it, is it difficult? I mean, was it difficult for Schenker to come to the Philippines and adjust to, let's say, local conditions, where maybe punctuality is not a strong point? Let's put it.
No, I wouldn't say that it is difficult, but I think the employees, when we as Schenker took over, had to readjust themselves a bit and also to look at the sense of urgency in a different way. But I can say that we have very, very capable employees, Filipinos, because Filipinos usually are very well trained. They are very, very well educated.
Very easy to train.
Very easy to train, very adaptable. And if I compare where I was working before, because I was working in Malaysia, I was working in Thailand, I was working in Indonesia for Schenker, coming here is actually you find a workforce you can much easier work with because the medium is English. You can talk very well in English with everyone, and really Filipinos are very clever people and they are very adaptable and are very flexible. So I didn't find it difficult at all to work with the local colleagues here.
Yes. Now, is Schenker involved in corporate social responsibility, in social civic projects? Because you're spread all across the Philippines in many provinces, many areas. And do you do community activities to help locals?
Yes, we do. You might be able to imagine that in the first 2 or 3 years we didn't really have a focus on that, because the first 2 years was really focused on integration, getting the culture of Schenker in this new entity. But when we had covered this, then the next step was we also have to give back. We also have to do something for the community. So that's why last year we had our first CSR activity where we did a tree planting in Marikina watershed, and we planted something over 600 trees. And we have now made the decision that we will make this a continuous activity. And we had the idea, why don't we do it every year and we always plant the number of trees like we have the number of employees. So last year we planted above 600. This year we will plant more than 800.
Lovely.
And the way we grow as a company, we will also give back more to nature and to the community.
Lovely, lovely.
That is one activity. And the second activity, which we will start actually next year, is that we will partner with a university, and then we will have a scholar program where we will adopt 5 students to have a scholarship. And we will also offer then these 5 students to have an internship in Schenker during their studies. And if they like it after they are finished, then they can have an employment.
Wow, no, that's an excellent idea, because you provide, like, as you said, scholarships, so a means to get an education, and more importantly, to be employed after. That is like a package deal.
Right. We try to copy it a bit to the German way of doing education, which we have in a dual program, so that already through the university education, you also have some practical education at the same time with internships, so that you don't only see the theoretical side, but you also see the practical side.
Excellent, excellent. Now, future expansion plans for Schenker, are you confident or optimistic about future prospects of your company here in the Philippines?
Well, I'm very happy to report about that. Just going back, when we started in 2007, we had about 30,000 square meters of warehousing facility which we operated. Nowadays we have nearly 100,000 square meters of warehousing facility, and we have just a few weeks ago we have signed a contract for another investment of another 10,000 square meter facility which will be ready next year by April or May. So we have a clear focus that we want to grow here in the Philippines. Schenker came here to stay, and I'm really very optimistic that also during the next coming years we will be able to grow with the Philippine economy and also to grow above the market.
Well, it's very good to hear that, Rainer. I mean, that multinationals such as your company are optimistic about prospects in the Philippines. It's something that will benefit everyone, especially by providing employment and additional businesses prospects for Philippine companies. Now, let's talk about another organization that you are connected with now as a member, and you were also a member of, an officer in this organization a while back. We're talking about the German Club.
Yes.
Tell us about the Deutsche Club.
Deutsche Club, the German club, is an institution here in Manila, and as far as I know, it is the oldest foreign club. It was established in 1906, so it is more than 100 years old. And, well, in the German club, you have the possibility to have a bit of Germany. So the whole year round. What you get in Mabuhay Germany for 1 weekend, you to a certain extent get in the German club the whole year round. And the German club, we have more than 500 members, which are not, of course, only Germans. We also have a lot of Filipinos who are members in our club. and they enjoy the German food, the German ambiance, the German culture, which is only a 10-year in between from 1991 to 2001, where Schenker was not with the German railway, but with another German conglomerate which was called Stinnes, because that was a political decision at that time that the German railway had to privatize some of the affiliated companies. But then in 2001, yes.
Which is the German National Railway.
Correct, yeah. The German National Railway, the Deutsche Bahn, is our mother company. And there has been a long tradition already together with the German railway. Already in 1931, Schenker was at that time acquired by the Deutsche Reichsbahn. So since 1931, Schenker belongs actually to the German railway. And there was one, when the German railway got privatized, it was very important for them to get Schenker back because they wanted to have the global reach.
Of course. I mean, the really synergy with the Deutsche Bahn, with